Either.
Okay. Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Happy
Good luck.
holidays.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And with that, we move on to the survey results, and Ryan's going to take 1 through 3. I want to apologize for these uncomfortable seats. Zumba's happening over at Rec, so we couldn't use that room. I apologize. Feel free to stand, walk around, do whatever you want to do.
Ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. I'll send these around to you guys here.
Pass them around.
Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna give that one to Brad. Give him a black and white. Here you go, Ryan. There's another one. All right, so we're going to do a little overview of the rec advisory survey that went out and look at. I'm going to go over the first three questions and the responses to those. Oh, there we go. Sorry, let's go back here. It's a little bit of a delay. All right. So as Bridget mentioned earlier, the survey went out on September the 14th. I'll just read this. EJRP Recreation Advisory Council opened up a survey for the community to comment on the proposed governance change of EJRP from the school district to the village. The survey was closed on November the 9th. 208 individuals responded to the survey. 199 of the respondents identified themselves as residents of the village of Essex Junction. The data that is presented below is derived from the responses by village residents only. This is just the introductory text to the survey that went out. I'll read that too, just in case you can't read that off of the screen here. We are proud to represent the Essex Junction Recreation and Parks. We are inspired by the people, the parks, and the programs. EJRP serves our community well. We appreciate our 40-year history of administration by the school district that has fostered the development and growth of a quality department. We are always seeking ways to improve our parks and programs for the community. Some people have suggested that there be a governance change from the school board, the prudential committee, to the village of Essex Junction, the board of trustees. This important community decision requires a thorough process and comprehensive study. To gather your opinion, we ask members of the Essex Junction community to weigh in on the following questions. And then we asked people before taking the survey to visit the website that had links to frequently asked questions, the petition, counterpoints, news articles, and so forth, so that people would educate themselves on the topic. And thank you for your time, and then if people had questions, we directed them to Bridget. So there are 4 main questions on this survey. Question number 1, are you satisfied with the EJRP staff, parks, and programs? Question number 2, do you think having EJRP governed by the school district, the current status, serves our community well? Question number 3, do you think transferring governance to the village, the proposed status, would serve our community well? And lastly, what questions do you need answered in order to make an informed opinion about the question of rec governance? All of the results that we're going to be discussing today can be found on our website. We will be posting those tomorrow morning, so those will all be available to you. This presentation, as well as an executive summary, and also a full 19-page report of all of the survey data that we've compiled here. So question number 1, are you satisfied with EJRP staff, parks, and programs? As you can see, the overwhelming majority, 85%, said yes, they are satisfied with the EJRP staff, parks, and programs. 7% said no, and 8% were unsure. And we'll look at some of those in a little more detail here. So of the 170 respondents that said yes, they are satisfied, 71 provided comments or reasons for their satisfaction. And we've listed here the 3, some of the most commonly recurring themes throughout those comments. So 42 of those 71 comments had something to do with the excellent or quality programming that EJRP provides. Some examples would be the programming serving all ages, offering a variety and diversity of programs, and affordable and wise use of resources. 26 of those comments had to do with EJRP staff and their support of the staff, or their satisfaction with the staff. And then 23 of those comments had to do with the parks and facilities being well maintained. Continuing on, 23 of the comments had to do with EJRP being an important defining part of our community. And again, we've listed a lot of those comments. I'll read a few, and those are all available in the report. Some comments to the effect of it being the best in the state, a great asset to the community, loving the integration between EJRP and the schools and the coordination of programs between this recreation department and the schools, a hidden gem, a huge part of our family's life, valuable resource, et cetera, enriches the community, and so on. Some more of the responses. 14 comments had to do with EJRP being a great service to the community. 8 comments had to do with the recreation department being progressive. We don't have the number here. That's either going to be in 7 or an 8. Not a single complaint or wouldn't change. Oh, there we go. Wouldn't change anything. 7 comments, no complaints or wouldn't change anything about the department. Then looking on the other side of the people that said they were unsure or said no, they are not satisfied with EJRP, 29 people indicated that, and 22 of those gave comments or concerns. And the recurring themes in those, the most frequent with 4 comments was the baseball field decisions and that whole process back in the spring. 4 comments had to do with staff-related issues. 3 comments had to do with lack of particular programs or repeated programs, and 3 of the comments or concerns had to do with the budget and costs. Question number 2, do you think that having EJRP governed by the school district, the current status, serves our community well? And you can see nearly 3 out of 4 people that took the survey indicated that they do believe that the current status of being part of the school district serves the community well. And then about 1 in 10, 11%, stated that they didn't think the current status served us well, with the remaining 17% being unsure. Again, we'll look at some of those comments. Of the 144 people that said yes, the current status serves us well, 55 provided comments. 16 comments had to do with the collaboration and integration that goes on between the recreation department and the schools. 10 comments had to, some of them use this very language, but something to the effect of, if it ain't broke, why fix it? 9 comments talked about the shared and coordinated use of facilities between the rec department and the schools. And 9 comments had to do with both organizations serving children in the community. Some more comments. Again, these are from people that said yes, the current status serves us well. 7 comments, again, mentioning excellent quality programming, serving all ages, the diversity and affordability. 7 comments stated they felt that this is just about the baseball field, is why the topic has been brought up. 7 comments, people were worried about what might change if there was a transfer of governance. And 6 comments mentioned the common thread between recreation and education. Of the 55 people that were either not sure, 17%, or said no, they don't think the current status serves us well, which was 11%. 17 people provided comments or concerns. 8 people just said they were not sure. 7 people felt that recreation was not a school function. 4 comments had to do with the schools being busy, and 4 comments just had to do with general additional questions that people may have. And then question number 3, do you think transferring governance to the village, the proposed status, would serve our community well? And you can see 51%, slightly over half, said no, they don't think that the proposed transfer of governance would serve the community well. 13% felt that the proposal would serve the community well. And then 1/3 of the roughly 200 people that were residents and took the survey, 1/3 of those were still unsure. Looking at some of the comments, the 26 people that said yes, they do think that the transfer would serve us well. 14 of those people provided comments. 3 comments had to do with the possibilities of it being cost effective. 2 comments had to do with recreation being governed by village residents. 2 comments had to do with the schools focusing on schools. 2 comments just had general uncertainties, not sure. And 2 comments had to do with recreation being a municipal function. And again, that's from the people that felt the transfer would serve the community well. We had 27 comments stating if it ain't broke in response to the proposed transfer. We had 11 comments, again, saying this is just about the baseball field. 10 that said the village already has too much to do and is struggling to do that. And then 10 comments about costs going up, fees or taxes, if the proposed transfer were to take place. A few more here. 8 comments, rec and schools both educate and serve families and youth. 8 comments that said, I don't see any advantages or benefits to village governance. And 6 comments, the village should put efforts into more important things. A few more, 6 comments, the rec money should only be used for rec purposes. 5 comments that the change in governance would reduce program options and variety. 3 comments that the village wouldn't be able to do it because they don't have the expertise or infrastructure. 2 comments that about it being a municipal function, and 2 comments questioning why we are listening to so few people.